Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas Eve, and I decided I better get to do what I was supposed to do last year. My favorite Christmas movies, and I'm not going to count down everything. I'm going to miss a lot, so I'll let you know right off the bat. If I miss something and you think it's a good Christmas movie, comment below, tell me what your favorite Christmas movies are. Alright, let's get started. And it's not necessarily in a descending order of a list or anything. I'm naming them off as I think of them. First, we got Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1 and 2. Part 1, I reviewed it last year at Christmas. Naughty. The slasher movie where some poor kid watches his parents get killed on Christmas by a guy dressed as Santa Claus, gets a little messed up in the head, eventually dresses up as Santa, goes off to kill people himself. The movie is pretty terrible, but I think it's kind of a guilty pleasure to me. It's fun. They gave some effort at parts, and I mean, when you see him decapitate a snowman, your whole Christmas is just made. That made my whole Christmas, was to see a guy dressed as Santa cut a snowman's head off. That's hilarious. And part 2 almost has nothing to do with Christmas. I mean, he does go out on Christmas to kill people similarly, but most of it is him flashing back to the first movie, and then a lot of eyebrow acting. You remember. Garbage Day! Like that whole thing. That's amazing. It's a great... Not again. Happy now. But yeah, Silent Night, Deadly Night 2 is just a great unintentional comedy, but at some parts it feels totally intentional. It's hilarious. It's amazing. I'm buying it for sure, those first 2 Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. And if you like 3, 4, and was there a 5th one? I don't know if there's a 5th one or if there was a remake or both, but I haven't seen them. I don't want to. I'm enjoying the first 2. Next, Bad Santa. I know everybody. Yeah, right? It's awesome, okay? Billy Bob Thornton is a drunken asshole that just has no friends because no one can stand the guy. He's a terrible person. And in this movie, he plays a guy who dresses up as Santa Claus, and he robs people on Christmas Eve. He robs the malls. He becomes a mall Santa, and that's kind of what he does, just a drunk guy. This kid kind of thinks he's the real Santa Claus and uses him kind of as a father because the kid's pretty pathetic. It's a fun movie. It's very adult and mature. I mean, if you can't take a couple curse words, then put your earmuffs on and go watch It's a Wonderful Life, because you can't handle this movie. Because there's so much swearing and sex and hot tubs and stuff. It's awesome. I really enjoy the movie, but you know, some people might not, and that's why there's the rest of the list. Next up, we got one of my new favorite Christmas movies of all time, Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas. I saw this in theaters, and I'm so happy I did. I love the franchise. The first movie is great. Second movie, disappointing, but you know what? I'll watch it. It's good enough. But the third one, it might be the best. It's right up there with the first. Not exactly sure. But it's such a good Christmas story in general. And this one, kind of like Bad Santa, very mature. I mean, it's the stoner Christmas movie you wanted. Did Cheech and Chong have a Christmas movie? I don't know. Santa's real, and I shot him in the face. And all that. Oh, God, it's a great movie. That little guy, the little waffle maker, I love that guy. And the baby that's tripping out the whole movie. It's so funny, and it does put you in the Christmas spirit. Next up, to keep with our raunchy kind of list, started with slasher movies, then the raunchy ones. Now we move on to Eight Crazy Nights. Probably the hardest one to watch if you can't take adult type humor. Because while it's not exactly full of F-bombs and sex, this movie is crude. I mean, I used to love this movie. This might have been my favorite Christmas movie. Now I really enjoy it, but at the same time, it's a little hard to watch. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to rate the movies. I should be rating these Christmas movies too. I'll go back in editing and put little grades up for the movies. It'll work that way. But Eight Crazy Nights, it's tricky to watch because, I mean, the thing with Adam Sandler now is, like, I watched the trailer for Grown Ups 2 and within 20 seconds a deer pisses on his face, and I hate it. And in this movie, there's like a whole group of animated deers just shitting diarrhea all over the place. And I hate that. It's stupid. Poor old Whitey. David Stone, you son of a bitch, you turned me into a poopsicle. Like, you know, a lot of people really feel bad for him because Adam Sandler shits on him in this movie. Turns him into a poopsicle, the deers have to lick it clean. Like, stuff like that's so crude. But for some reason, this movie, it gets very emotional at the end, which I can't deny. But it does put me in the Christmas spirit in a weird, crude way that I still really enjoy this movie. Yeah, there's people eating jock straps and stuff. There's a lot of dumb humor that actually took me out of the movie now. But the good stuff that I liked, all the heart that this movie actually had, yeah, I still really enjoy. But B-, I actually pretty much still enjoy Eight Crazy Nights. And the last Christmas movie that I don't own, I really need to. I'm gonna order this along with the other ones I mentioned. Jingle All the Way. Put the cookie down. Come on, no, I'm not a pervert. I'm just looking for Turbo Man doll. Like that stuff. Arnold Schwarzenegger in a Christmas movie. Awesome. What makes it even awesomer? It's the anti-Christmas movie because it's all about consumerism. It matters more about getting your kid a present than it does putting thought. It's not the thought that counts. It's the awesome action figure that does. And yeah, there's some actual heart to the movie, but that's not what I'm there for. I'm there to see Arnold Schwarzenegger just scream things at people. Jingle All the Way, I really enjoy that. It's not, I know people actually kind of hate it. I like Schwarzenegger and I like the movie. I'd give it a B. I own the second one, but not the first, the Home Alone franchise, number 2 right here. And the first one's amazing. That's a great Christmas movie, and it's a great brutal movie. I mean, they get beat up. The Wet Bandits get their ass kicked just because Kevin McAllister's home alone and he decides, well, these guys want to break in. In real life, they'd break in, kill him, and then probably have their way with him. I don't know how evil they are, but in this, you get to see him take their asses out. And in the second one, same thing, more of the same, but it's just as good, if not better. The Home Alone franchise as together, both 1 and 2 get like an A-. I love those movies. The Grinch, the Ron Howard one, and the original. The original, amazing movie. Dr. Seuss. Is that how you pronounce it? I always call him Dr. Zeus. You know, Zeus, shove a lightning bolt up your ass if anyone fucks with me. God, I love Samuel L. Jackson. Great movie, great story, great animation. It's a Christmas classic in every sense of the word, A+. The Ron Howard version, a lot of people hate it because it's not exactly what Dr. Seuss would want. It's really different from the original. I mean, it's the same basic story, but they're throwing a lot of different stuff that doesn't quite fit with it. But it's an interpretation, and I like this interpretation too. You know, the other odd stuff that they put in, I thought it helped make it funny. I mean, there's a part where the babies are floating down from the sky, and it's like, honey, this one looks just like your boss. I mean, jokes like that wouldn't be in the original, but I think they're funny, and the other stuff they did in this movie, it's a lot of fun to me. B+ for The Grinch. A Christmas Story. Timeless classic. Sorta. You know, the first time I watched this, I thought it was hysterical. I loved every minute of it. I watched it last night. Not quite the same. I didn't laugh as much. I was entertained by the movie, but the part that really made me laugh was just kind of, you know, there's parts where he's eating soap and he's like, I'm a connoisseur of soap, I would say. Some of it tastes like a nice after-dinner taste, but this stuff, yuck, or something. Like, stuff like that made me laugh. But what really made me laugh at the end, and I shouldn't have because it's so racist, that when they're at the Chinese restaurant, that made me laugh so hard. Oh, God. That was the funny part of the movie. That was the be-all, end-all, hilarious part. But the rest of the movie, it's kind of like a coming-of-age story mixed with Christmas. You know, the guy with the father has the leg lamp, stick his tongue to the pole. There's a lot of crazy stuff in the movie. And it's funny is that director, Bob Clark, also made Black Christmas, which a maniac breaks into a sorority house and just murders everyone. Christmas Story, I'd give like a B, but Black Christmas, a B-, because that movie's also kind of poorly put together, but enjoyable nonetheless. You got Juliet from the old Romeo and Juliet movie. Interesting, it actually did a lot of things that Halloween would do later, so it actually is pretty influential in a way, so Black Christmas like a B-, that's another one. I just thought of that. Next up, Scrooged, one of the best interpretations of A Christmas Carol. You got the Muppet Christmas Carol, I'd give that like a B+. I love the Muppets, and their version was really good with Michael Caine. I'm trying to remember, was it George C. Scott's version was really good because you got Edward Woodward as the Ghost of Christmas Present, and he is an acting force in that movie. He's great. And George C. Scott's really good too. I'd give that one like an A-. I really enjoy that one. But this one, A+. Okay, Bill Murray's awesome. Such a different interpretation, but it gets it all just perfect. This movie is on and it's funny. Elf. You know, if you don't like Will Ferrell, watch it anyway, because Will Ferrell's great in this movie. You know, a kid that ends up in the North Pole. He's not actually an elf, but he works as an elf for the longest time. Then he goes to find his father, who's James Caan, and he's a real Scrooge asshole. So he's trying to get him to become a good guy for Christmas, so he can be on the nice list and all. And I mean, there's a lot of great, great moments in this. This one and The Grinch and Scrooged are ones I always watch on like Christmas Eve. Along with this movie, one of my all-time favorites, like really might be like my number one, The Polar Express. Oh my God, what a great movie. Robert Zemeckis is, I don't know what you call the animation style, but It's kind of scary actually, because they look real but they don't. There's something off about them that's kind of creeping me out. Tom Hanks plays like 9 different people in the movie. It's great. He plays like a hobo train conductor. Was he Santa Claus? He was one of the fathers, the narrator. He's everyone in this movie almost, like the cast. Tom Hanks. Done. The score for this movie is great. It puts you in the Christmas spirit. What a great story. And it's intense. When they're skiing on the roof of the train, I thought I was going to fall off. And when they get to the front, it's going down Flat Top Mountain or whatever it is. I thought I was going to fall over the edge, get run over. Oh my. It's intense. It puts you in the mood of the movie. And up until the part where there's Aerosmith singing. And then I was like, what the fuck movie am I watching? You wrecked it all. But then I gets it all back by the end. I really enjoy this. Oh, what a classic movie. A+. Alright, last two. The ones I want to talk about most, because they're probably the most watchable Christmas movies. We'll start off with Die Hard 2. Yeah, it takes place at Christmas also. He's in the airport. Fun movie. I enjoyed it. I already reviewed it once. What'd I give it? A B? Okay. B. I love Die Hard 2. It's a fun movie. I enjoy it. But Die Hard, the original classic. A+ already, I can just say. This is the greatest Christmas movie? Maybe not. It's a great action movie that takes place at Christmas time. But you can watch it on Christmas because now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho. Any other Christmas movies I forgot? Not that I can think of. But if you know it, comment below, tell me any other Christmas movies that you enjoy. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time when I do my last couple movies as Christmas presents to me and my subscribers. What are they? I already revealed that American Psycho is one of them. Can you see the shirt? Followed by the last one, the big surprise one, my favorite movie of all time. You probably know what it is by now because I keep telling you. But if you don't know, I guess you'll find out Christmas Day. And after that, I'll finish my Halloween franchise review. I'll get the last of those done. And then I also have kind of one more that I've put off. I'll give you one more quote from the movie. You can either alleviate the burn with water or neutralize the burn with vinegar. Is that a good enough quote? I don't know. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.